Martell Holt.
I don't want her to be in a situation where it feels like, where she's being used for publicity. Earlier this year, and I gotta be honest, a family friend of mine who was on another reality show hit me up to go out on a date with him at Blaze and was like, oh, could you have another table open for us because we're going to have somebody taking our pictures and videos so that they can post it and da-da-da-da, like this was something they had. And I was like, okay. But no blog really posted, only like one place posted it. But my whole point was, now that I see this similar situation, I'm like, is he doing this, or like, is he being genuine, or is he doing the same thing that he was doing with other?
Back when things were simpler, LaTisha stood alongside her husband, Marsaw Scott, building up a brand, a legacy, a powerhouse partnership. The two of them, good on paper, commanding respect. But real life rarely stays on paper. Behind the scenes, LaTisha was juggling expectations, not just of her marriage and business, but of a show that demanded chaos disguised as authenticity. Viewers thought they were watching success. What they were really witnessing was a slow crawl toward rupture. Her husband, Marsaw, had built a reputable image, a man of the people, shouldering the "we're building our city" narrative. LaTisha mirrored that ambition. She earned her credits, stepped into the boardroom, held her own in the lens and in business functions. She was the dream couple for many of us. But cracks started to show. Rumors of infidelity, side stories masked as business trips. Whispers in the group chat of a show where everyone pretended to be fine. The irony was rich. A show about love and marriage whose foundation was guilt, secrecy, and shifting loyalties. One storyline gets spotlighted. Marsaw,
some of the things that they was throwing at us, I haven't dealt with it. And I felt like it was a distraction because I really wanted to talk about, some of the things we really did have to overcome within our relationship and our marriage. But infidelity wasn't one of them,
Accused of things he denied. LaTisha thrown into the crossfire. According to reports, trust issues played a significant role in the breakdown of their marriage. Can co-bridal add to that the pressure of filing legal paperwork, the cameras filming reactions, and a network breathing down their necks expecting fireworks, and the script wrote itself? Meanwhile, the friend group on the show that had once portrayed unity cracked into factions. The couples stopped speaking to each other. Alliances shifted. A group of friends became a battlefield. LaTisha began to pull away, focusing on business, on self-renewal. That move created tension. Suddenly, she wasn't just the partner in a duo. She was an adversary in the cast's internal war. According to One Piece, LaTisha worked to become more independent. And the breakdown of Melody and Martell created a lasting rift between the other couples. Collider still, for all the tension behind the scenes, the facade stayed intact for a while. Cameras rolled. Trailers dropped. Social media posts glamorized success. But what nobody expected was that...
You guys have known, you said that I've been quiet. I know a lot more than what I say. And for years, Marceau have been like, no, T, don't do that. No, T, don't do that. And we really have been trying not to go there with Martell because I just don't want to be fighting with him. So, but at some point, you have to be like, enough is enough. Like, leave us alone. Stop it. We don't say nothing about you. When we do say something, it is like something that has been asked of us on the TV show.
The tension was the star. The drama, not the achievement, became the storyline. Now, let's get into the main story. The kind where friendships fracture, marriages implode, and a show that once had heart becomes injected with toxicity. This is where LaTisha's own voice changes the game. Let's rewind to when the show promised to shine. A spotlight on Black excellence, entrepreneurship, community uplift, real dreams turned into real estate deals. But as one insider article pointed out, by season 5, the vibe shifted. Instead of celebrating the title of love and marriage, LAMH became a landscape for suspicious behavior in both business and social relationships. Collider. That shift wasn't just narrative change, it was a turning point. One of the earliest fractures involved LaTisha herself. According to coverage, there was an episode where her husband's alleged infidelity story surfaced. And LaTisha pulled into the narrative, denied it, deflected it, while still being accused of keeping silent. Collider +1, the hurt among friends, ran deep. Cousin Kik Jabbar, who appeared on the show, accused LaTisha of turning a blind eye to Marsau's cheating and thereby betraying the sisterhood. Collider, think about that. Someone you trust accuses you of betrayal. On national...
Life be lifing. So, it's a lot. Like, you plan your days and you can't stress out all the things that you don't get accomplished for that day. Like, you just have to figure out what's important. We're working it and we're going to figure it out. I talk to my family a lot, me and my kids, my husband. And we plan out things around the household. We give tasks to everybody. So we have to work together as a unit.
TV for millions. That kind of public humiliation doesn't just sting, it cuts. And when it cuts the foundation of your facade, it starts to collapse. LaTisha pushed back. She pointed at her own struggle, holding up her family, her brand, while dealing with the spotlight and the attack. She changed her focus, invested elsewhere. But the mess followed her. The cameras didn't care about nuance. They wanted confrontation. So they gave it to them. One moment. The group gathered for a fun outing. Next moment, a water cup thrown at LaTisha's face at a barbecue. A dramatic scene, live and loud. The storylines escalated. Arrests, side hustles, secrets, half-truths aired in reunion specials. One article, marital breakdowns and dysfunctional. Friendships have rendered Huntsville a toxic address and may signal the demise of the show. Collider and the network. They started to quietly shift their energy. Fewer promos, lower fanfare. The core couples began to leave or distance themselves. Collider +1. That's when LaTisha reportedly told producers enough and went off the record. She revealed things even the network didn't want out. How the show's mission had been compromised. How they were no longer championing success, but manufacturing chaos. What nobody expected was that the star would turn whistleblower. LaTisha stepped into the spotlight, dropped names, indicated that the cancellation wasn't about ratings.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Your husband has made these false statements about Marceau.
How do you know they're false?
Because I know they're false.
How do you know they're false?
Are they real?
That's neither here nor there for me to say.
Okay.
It was about the narrative being out of control, about integrity being sold, about friendships traded for drama. She said it felt like their world had flipped. And the show's foundation had eroded. Let's look at that moment on screen. The reunion, where she sat across from her once friend. Accusations flying. The camera panned. The audience gasped. LaTisha's voice steadied. She asked, "Why are we here fighting when we're supposed to be building something together?" The silence that followed was deafening. It wasn't just a question. It was a reckoning. And then the final blow, the network quietly shelving the show. Sources pointed to multiple issues. Internal cast war. Inability to restore unity and a brand that no longer resonated with the network's values. According to interviews, the network didn't officially cancel it, but the campaigning ended. The promo stopped. Filming slowed. The energy drained. It was effectively over. Reddit +1 LaTisha's role in exposing it all turned her from participant to narrator of what went wrong. She didn't just happen. She became the voice that said, here's what broken, here's why it ended. And in return, her relationships with the rest of the cast fractured. Her friends disappeared, her alliances dissolved. Now let's talk impact. How this wrecked a person, a marriage, a career, and a friendship. And even the legacy of a show people once loved. LaTisha had to navigate heartbreak, not just her marital issues, but the betrayal of friends, the public unraveling, and the collapse of a dream she helped build. The image she cultivated, strong partner, businesswoman, loyal friend, was challenged in front of the world. That kind of exposure costs more than tears. It costs identity. Her husband Marsa lost part of the business narrative, the positive aura that once circled them both. Viewers stopped rooting for them. They began questioning them. The trust was gone. The unity was gone. The cameras still rolled, but the magic faded. Friendships. They crumbled. LATISHA found that no one stood in her corner when the flames started. The side-eye turned into avoidance. For her, every event meant scanning the room for smiles and seeing quits instead. That isolation added weight. When you're on national TV telling your business story and you feel alone, the glare gets colder. Career-wise, she's still in the game, still building, still looking forward, but the show, the major platform, the household name, it's dwindled. Without that sustained exposure, building your brand in this space becomes harder. And the rhetoric "we're here to build wealth, business, empire" started sounding hollow in the face of all the drama that dominated instead. Family-wise, she had children. She had expectations to maintain. The spotlight turned from business aim to entertainment aim. Not a great shift when you're trying to teach legacy. For her kids, maybe the hardest part was their mom watched the downfall of something she believed in. That's a heavy lesson when your subject is success. Emotionally, it's raw. Imagine walking into a gathering with people who once rooted for you and hearing whispers, "What happened?" Or reading comments, "She let it all go." That kind of judgment lingers. And for LaTisha, the greatest impact wasn't just that the show ended, was that she was part of the reason why and the ripple effects. The network's fans disengaged. The message of the show skewed. One fan thread said, "Greater than it's still filming. They won't announce something till Reddit." Another said, "Greater than mid-season hiatus. I'm wondering if OWN ordered more episodes." Reddit, the confusion in the audience voices reflects the confusion behind the scenes. So when the show eventually fizzled, it wasn't just business. It was emotional. It was people's lives. It was reputations. And LaTisha was in the front row of the destruction. Let me pull this together with the ending. You feel not just the facts, but the sentiment. Because this story isn't just about a show's collapse. It's about what happens when ambition, friendship, and media collide. LaTisha Scott stepped into the limelight believing she had control of her narrative. She believed in the dream the show sold. But what she discovered was that sometimes the dream sells you on, then rewrites you. She found that loyalty is currency, and when your circle starts trading in drama instead of support, you're bankrupt before you know you're bankrupt. The show's collapse didn't happen overnight.